I really like my makeup today, guys. I think it looks really nice. Every time I get before this camera, I get shy. Oh my god, I get so shy. I get really shy, like too shy. Like, real bad. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Tabisa Louisa. I hope you guys are doing amazing. I feel really excited for this video. I don't know why. sorry. Anyways, I hope you guys are good. I'm back with another video. I'm sorry for the last 2 weeks I have not posted. I apologize, but remember when I started this series, what did I say? I said every week by the grace. So that means there was no grace for the last 2 weeks, but the grace is back. The grace is back in town. Today I'm going to be talking about, I don't know what I'm going to title it really. I'm going to be talking about sustaining sisterhood, working through hardship in sisterhood, you know, keeping sisterhood alive, friendship breakups, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm going to see where I go with it. I haven't actually got a script or anything. I'm just going to speak from the heart. Make sure you guys follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to leave it down there. Please actually follow me on like both of them because my Instagram followers are going down. They've been going down for the past like 2 years. And my TikTok is stagnant. So y'all, if you don't already, please follow me and subscribe, please. Please subscribe. Oh my gosh, how great would it be to make 5K? And how great would it be? Oh, that's scary though. But how great would it be for me to actually build a community? Like maybe, I don't know, as we grow, like we can have like a group chat or something. I don't know, we'll see. Let's get into the video. One thing that I've learned about sisterhood is that it takes two to make it work. All parties involved must be committed to nurturing it. All parties involved must be committed to investing in the sisterhood, in pouring into the sisterhood, and being present in the sisterhood. This is how we best get sisterhood to thrive, to be most healthy, to be most flourishing and productive. Like, you know, when they say like it takes a village to raise a child, like it takes everybody in the hood to make the hood. I like that. That's it. It takes everybody in the hood to make the hood. Meaning it takes everyone being intentional. It takes everybody making the effort. It makes everybody committing to nurturing and investing in the sisterhood to work. It's not only on one sister. Sisterhood is work. Just like how relationships are work, sisterhood is also work. And how I personally do sisterhood with my friends, like my sisters are my life partners, so we're basically married. No, not in the weird way, but what I'm saying is how I do sisterhood, we are journeying through life, like we are experiencing life together, like we're walking together. Imagine there being like a path. We are walking together, and as we walk there's going to be things that we come across, hurdles, difficulties. Life, you know, it can be hard. It's important that we address and we deal and we navigate those bumps in the road, whether those be individual or within the sisterhood. It's important that we navigate these things in a healthy way that allows sisterhood to be sustained rather than sisterhood to be broken down. And I think sisterhood breaks down when you don't know how to communicate properly in conflict. I think sisterhood breaks down when you don't know how to navigate these difficult moments and the bumps in the road in a healthy way. One of the things that I've learned personally with dealing with conflict in sisterhood is that it's important to have honest conversations with that sister. Everything that I say is all context dependent. I believe to handle and deal with that conflict is to, one, have an honest and transparent conversation. Communication is so key. Rather than holding it in and not saying anything, if this is something that has hurt you, or if this is something that is going to affect your sisterhood or affect how you show up in sisterhood or how you even perceive the other sister, I believe the most mature and loving thing to do is to communicate that hurt. Communicate your upsetness, communicate your disappointment, communicate your frustration, whatever the case is. I believe that you should communicate those feelings from a place of sobriety. And when I mean that, I don't mean there's something that I say with my friends, yeah, sleep and wake up. Me and my friend Hanita, we coined the term, Tabisa and Hanita, we coined the term, and it's the ministry of sleeping and waking up. A situation has happened, you're heated or you're hurt, you're upset, you're disappointed. Instead of like in that moment, like boom, 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 texting, whatever, sleep. Let it marinate, have a day to think, reflect, so that you don't speak in the heat of your emotions, but you have a little bit of time, or however much time you need, to process what has happened, or to process like, okay, this has hurt you, or you don't like that your sister has done this to you, or you're disappointed, your sister didn't keep their word, your sister let you down, your sister said something that you didn't like and it upset you, or it did something to make you angry, right? Don't just in those emotions, like in the heat of it, speak, because it's likely that the way that you speak, whether that be your tone, your delivery, or the actual words, your choice of words in that conversation, could actually amplify the situation. Because as much as like communicating how you feel is important, your tone is very important. Your tone determines how what you're saying is actually received. Delivery is just as important as communicating and expressing your feelings is. If anything, it's most important, because it's the thing that will allow your sister to receive it in a loving way. The same way that you need to communicate, because that's the most loving and mature thing to do. Another loving and mature thing to do is to process first what you're going to say, how you're feeling, so that you don't unintentionally hurt the other sister by maybe using words or speaking in a way that is not nice, or that would, upset them. I remember being on FaceTime with my friend Mary Grace. Y'all might know her, but if you don't, I'm gonna put her TikTok below. She's amazing. I was on FaceTime to her like 3 weeks ago, and she was just saying that like one thing that she has learned in sisterhood is that when you love a sister and when you care for the friendship, when they've done something to hurt you, you're going to pick up the phone, or you're going to send a text, and you're going to express that to them. If you had no regard and if you had no value for that friendship, you would just go ahead in your offense. Like you wouldn't care to express your feelings to them, because you don't see them as a friend or as important enough to let them know that they've hurt you. It's like, okay, brush, I can, whatever. You're not that important to me. But because you actually see worth and value in your friendship, like you're gonna communicate, or you should communicate. When you keep things in, and when you decide to like sweep things under the rug, and you don't address conflict when it arises, you will build resentment, and you don't want to feel resentment towards your friend. And therefore it's best to communicate how you feel in a healthy way so that you can move forward. And I want to introduce the next part, which adds on to this. And the second bit is, when you're having these honest and hard conversations, it's important to be self-aware. And this is kind of the hard part. This is where introspection comes in. This is where you have to look at your actions, your character. You as a sister, you have to look at yourself from an honest point of view, from an unbiased point of view. And you have to look at yourself and see your actions for what they are. Sometimes you can intend for something to be a way, but your behavior doesn't actually reflect your intention. So you can completely 100% have good intentions. However, how you showed up as that sister did not reflect that, right? And just because you had good intentions doesn't mean that your behavior is excusable, doesn't mean that your behavior was right, doesn't mean that your behavior wouldn't cause hurt. The ability to look at yourself and be completely honest with your part to play in unintentionally causing hurt to another sister is important. Seeing past yourself. I think the fact that your friend is upset, the fact that your friend is hurt by something that you did should be enough, because you love that friend, The fact that they've come to you and said, hey sis, this made me feel a type of way, that should move you to look within and look at your actions, even though you didn't mean it, to look at your actions, to look within and to, from an honest point of view, like, look at what she said, your actions or whatever you said, or your behavior, whatever has done to hurt her, make her feel a type of way, and understand how. So just to recap, we've got 1, communicate your feelings or have that honest conversation. That's number 1. Number 2 is self-awareness. And number 3 is now going to be accountability. I think one of the ways that sisterhood breaks down is when conflict arises and accountability isn't taken. It takes great humility, I'm not gonna lie. It takes humility to be able to look at your actions and understand that, okay, cool, my behavior contributed to your hurt, or I wasn't right in this situation. The way that I behaved, I could have been better. Or the way that I showed up in sisterhood, I could have done this differently. Or I could have spoken in this matter. Or I shouldn't have done that. Or maybe I should have done that, right? Having that understanding of where you've gone wrong or where you could have been better, it takes humility to have that perspective and to reach that level of self-awareness, I'm not gonna lie. And then to hold your hands up and be accountable to that, and not just be accountable, but going into my 4th point, change your behavior. Let's get into it. Sisterhood breaks down, right, where one sister is unable to be accountable to their actions, right? Where one person isn't able to see where they've gone wrong or where they could have been better. Because we're not reaching an agreement here, we're bashing heads. And sometimes, like, there's some maybe disagreements or some moments of conflict where, like, it's okay, like, we don't see eye to eye, but we've agreed to disagree and it's okay, we can move forward, that's fine. But in the context where it's like, no, you're actually in the wrong, or you messed up here, when the person who is like in the wrong is unable to see that they're in the wrong, unable to hold their hands up and take accountability for their wrongdoing, that's where sisterhood, that breaks down. And that's where I've seen like friendship breakups and friendship fails. This part, I genuinely believe this to be true, right? When it comes to sustaining sisterhood through conflict, I believe this is like make or break. This either breaks down the sisterhood or it builds it up. How you respond to your sister being vulnerable, how you respond to your sister expressing how you've hurt her, how you respond to your sister communicating how you could have done things differently or how you could have showed up better, is what determines whether this sisterhood is sustained or whether it's broken down. How you respond to when somebody's being vulnerable with you is groundbreaking. I'm not going to lie. Let's put together a case study. Let's put together a case study, right? Let me try to think of something, child, quick. Sister, let's call her Sister Grace. We've got Sister Grace and we've got Sister Susan. Sister Susan has had a business launch. It's really big for her. She was really scared to start up her business and she finally got the courage to start up her business, and she is selling skincare products, right? She's selling skincare products and she's really proud, and it's just such a huge milestone. Invited all of her friends to come to this launch. Sister Susan has ignored the invitation. She hasn't communicated that she won't be in attendance. She just ghosts, like she doesn't even open the message, right? The day comes, she's watching through like other people's stories, you know, how, you know, well the launch is going and all of that kind of stuff, and like she's seeing it. She hasn't messaged Sister Grace to say I'm not coming, and she hasn't messaged Sister Grace to say congratulations, I'm so proud of you, whatever. So after the event happens, Sister Grace, she's annoyed, yeah? She's texting other friends like, what the hell? How can she not show up for me? She even texts me like, what the hell? I'm gonna message her. So she sleeps, she wakes up, and she communicates to Sister Susan that, you know, you're one of my closest friends. I really expected you to be there. I would have loved to feel your support, but I didn't feel supported by you. I didn't feel any love from you. I didn't feel like you even cared to celebrate my milestone. One thing I appreciate in sisterhood is presence. You didn't show up for me. I didn't like that, and it really would have been nice to hear from you. If Sister Grace now goes and says, you don't even know that I was sick, or you don't even know that da 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 da, and responds on a defensive way, that could break down the sisterhood. Because have you heard what I've said? Like, have you taken time to step out of yourself? And remember what I said before, it's seeing past yourself. Yeah, Sister Grace is upset. Let me try to understand why Sister Grace is upset. Like, let me see how I've contributed to that, right? Sister Susan, how she should respond to that is having that understanding, having the self-awareness to understand that, okay, cool, this is a really big thing for my friend. As a friend, I should have showed up. And if I couldn't have, I should have maybe done something special that would make her feel celebrated, or I should have at least communicated that I wouldn't be able to be there in attendance. If Sister Grace now comes and says, oh, I was sick, like, you don't even check up on your foot, like, just spinning it back on her, you haven't listened. Because now Sister Grace is going to feel like she hasn't been heard. I've been vulnerable for nothing. I've communicated my feelings for nothing. She hasn't heard. She's just been defensive. Whereas if Sister Susan was to acknowledge and take accountability for where she fell short, and then provided context for maybe why she wasn't there. Hey sis, can't lie, I've really been going through it. I've been struggling to use my phone. I've been struggling to show up at, events. I just feel really depressed in this time, and I haven't been able to speak to anyone about it. I've been struggling in silence, suffering in silence. Like, I'm really, really sorry. Both people can understand where each other are coming from. It doesn't excuse like her behavior in terms of like not communicating and because at the end of the day you still hurt Sister Grace. However, now that we've had that honest conversation, we're able to see eye to eye. Sister Grace is able to learn from this and understand that communication is key. Don't be defensive when I'm being told about myself, or another friend is explaining to me how they feel. I should listen, and then afterwards explain my reasoning, and I should try my best to be present, or I should try my best that even when I'm struggling and low, to communicate so my friends are aware that I'm suffering. It's not that I don't want to celebrate them. It's not that I don't like my friends. It's not that I'm jealous. It's not that I don't want to see my friends thrive, but I'm struggling right now, and I don't feel like going out. I don't feel like doing this. Susan has learnt that, and Sister Grace, she has learned that, okay, cool, when I'm upset, like, this is how I deal with things. I communicate in a healthy and a loving way, and also I understand the context of where my friend is at. That's maturity as well, seeing past your emotions to understand the context of where your friend was. That's important. And I don't have much time to talk about it because I feel like I'm gonna go on for ages, and I don't want to go on for ages. Like, child, maybe I need a podcast or something. Maybe I need a podcast. Joking, but I don't need a podcast. But I hope that analogy and that little case study helps. Yeah, to round off, I think I'm going to leave it here. I have so much to say. I could actually maybe make this a part 2. I want to get my friends on. I need to get the girls on here. I need to get the girls. Y'all need to meet the girls. Y'all need to meet the sisters. Recap. So, in sustaining sisterhood and addressing conflict in healthy and mature ways to allow sisterhood to thrive and blossom, there were 4 important things to practice. The first one is having honest conversations. The second one is having self-awareness. The third one is accountability. The fourth one is responding well when having that hard conversation. Yes, I hope you guys have learned something. You know what? Let's do this. In the comments, comment below one thing that you've taken away from this. So one takeaway from this video, put it down in the comments and I'll respond to it. Let's have a chat. But yeah, let's continue the conversation of sisterhood. Anything, guys, like, help me out, y'all. Anything you guys want me to talk about, please either DM me or put it in the comments. I'm very open. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you guys so much. Like, the comments have been really encouraging to me. Like, this is exactly what I need, encouragement, and yo, really be doing that. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. I don't know if I said it, but don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.